As a beginner stock photographer, you are probably wondering what are the best websites to sell your photos and make money. In this video, I will answer exactly this question. The short answer is to narrow your focus and submit to as few best-selling stock photography platforms as possible at first.
My wife and I have been full-time stock photographers since 2015, and we make a living off of this. When we started stock photography, we, as many beginners, thought that more was better. We began uploading our photos online to 9 stock content websites. Those were 123rf.com, Deposit Photos, Big Stock, CanStock Photo, iStock Photo, Shutterstock, Fotolia, which is now Adobe Stock, Alamy, and Dreamstime. We also submitted our videos to Storyblocks, Motion Elements, Nemia, and Pond5.
Out of all these stock photo platforms, guess how many of them we are still submitting our stock photos and videos? Only 5, and they are Adobe Stock, Shutterstock, iStock, Alamy, and Pond5. As for all other stock photo platforms, we either removed our stock content or we just stopped uploading our content altogether. The reason behind this is very simple. We were not getting any sales out of those websites, or the sales were so meager that we were having a hard time justifying our effort of submitting our content to those places. After a long deliberation, we decided to focus on those 5 websites that generated most sales for us. Also, some of the websites that we stopped uploading to started discounting video and image licensing by a wide margin, and we didn't want our prospective clients to shop around for a better deal.
Typically, each stock photo platform gives you a cut from each sale expressed in percentage terms. The cut ranges anywhere from 15% to 50%, or sometimes even 60% depending on the stock photography platform and whether you go exclusive with them or not. For instance, Shutterstock has contributor levels that range from 15 to 40% depending on the achieved photo or video sales. If you have few images, you will probably be either level 1 or level 2. The more you sell, the higher your percentage cut gets. These levels reset each year on January 1st though. As a contributor, your goal is to smash through those sales levels as quickly as possible and not leave any money on the table. The dollar amount for each sale depends on the type of subscription plan a buyer is on. For instance, the subscription plan for 50 images a month costs $99 or $1.98 per each download on Shutterstock. If you are on level 1, you will get 15% of it, or about 30 cents. There are also one-time buyers who may pay large dollar amounts for each download. Adobe Stock pays a fixed 33% for stock photo. Pond5 and Alamy pay 40% to non-exclusive contributors, while Getty pays one of the industry lowest 15% to non-exclusive contributors. Also, how much you get in dollar amounts highly depends on the type of license. For instance, one-time licenses with enhanced rights for print promotional campaigns or merchandise can cost hundreds of dollars, if not thousands. Although these sales are rare, they do happen occasionally in our experience. Here's a chart that shows a rough breakdown of our stock photography earnings by each stock photography platform on average over the last 4 to 5 years. In the adjacent table, we also noted if we sell photos, videos, or both for each stock content platform. We made an early decision not to sell videos on iStock due to how little Getty pays for footage licensing when we tested it out. We also sell only videos on Pond5. Alamy accepts only stock images at this time. We can see that Shutterstock, Adobe Stock, and iStock generate over 90% of all our earnings. This is because these 3 platforms are well established, highly popular among both buyers and contributors, and they generate a lot of sales. I bet that many photographers would confirm these statistics. Alamy varies for us, and some months could see very large sales and others very small. Pond5 does not account for a large percent of our sales either for now. However, I think we can generate more sales on Pond5 as time goes on, because we are shifting our focus to produce more stock videos and time lapses, given that stock footage recently began earning a lot more for us on average.
Given what you saw now, the question is, what should you do? As a beginner who is just starting out, I would suggest focusing on those 3 major stock photo platforms. For Shutterstock, we made a tutorial on how to become a Shutterstock contributor that we linked above and in the description. There, we share a lot of our tips and strategies how to maximize your approval rates and minimize your rejection rates for uploaded stock photos. We also made a video on how to properly keyword and title your stock photos that will link above and in the description. Coming up with the most relevant keywords and titles for your stock photos is one of the most important skills and success factors in stock photography. Also, you can upload your content to LME and Pond5 if you have time. So why choose so few stock photo platforms? When you just begin to submit your stock photos and videos, the entire process may become overwhelming. As a beginner stock photographer, you likely see very few sales at the very beginning, as you gain experience with what sells and what not. And despite all this, you should still continue submitting and creating new work. Otherwise, if you get sick of it, you will get discouraged and stop submitting your work altogether. And that's the problem. So you should keep the process very simple. Stock photography is the numbers game, and it's a long game. It takes several years for a new stock photographer to start seeing the progress and making noticeable passive income stream.
After surveying other photographers who disclosed their earnings, I came to the conclusion that the rule of thumb for stock photography earnings is this. You can expect to make an average up to $2 a year in revenue per media asset. Media asset could be an image, illustration, or video. If you are scoring above $2 a year in revenue per media asset, congratulations, you're doing very well. For instance, if you have 5,000 stock photos and videos uploaded to numerous stock photography platforms, you can expect to make up to $10,000 a year in combined income.
So if you keep it simple and narrow your focus, it'll be easier to stay on track. Also down the road, if you feel like you got this and you got the stock photography process workflow ironed down, you can try to submit to other stock photography agencies if you'd like. I would suggest to accumulate at least several thousand of photos or videos and submit them to those other stock photography agencies all at the same time. Given this number of photography assets, you will quickly get an idea whether your content sells there or not and if the entire process is worth it. Also, I highly recommend not going exclusive with any stock photo agency. The reasons are very simple. First, you don't know what sells best. Second, you're not sure yet if that stock photo platform will be your best seller. By limiting yourself and going exclusive, you will face an opportunity cost of missing out on all other earnings from other websites. So keep your options open at the very beginning at least.
The next possible question you're pondering is whether you should use intermediaries such as Wirestock, which will title, keyword, and submit your content to multiple stock photo websites for you. I will make a separate video about Wirestock and its pros and cons. While it sounds attractive, there are major disadvantages of submitting your work through Wirestock. First, you'll be giving away 15% of your earnings. Second, you will likely have to go on their premium plan for $93 a year. Also, you will face monthly submission limits, which could be as low as 30. Wirestock could be highly beneficial for stock photographers who absolutely hate creating keywords and submitting their work through multiple websites. At the very beginning, if you are submitting your content to only 3 to 5 stock photo websites, it should not be a major hassle. Also, it pays to learn how to keyword your stock photos and stock videos in the long term, as this is the one major factor that will affect your stock photos and videos rankings in the search results.
So I would highly recommend to keyword and title your stock photos and videos yourself at the very beginning and see how you feel about the entire process. We made a tutorial video on how to embed keywords and titles into your stock photos and speed up your entire stock photography workflow. We provided a link to this tutorial up above and in the description. If you really hate keywording and titling your stock photo images, you can always switch to Wirestock later and use their services. We provided a link to the sign-up page for Wirestock down below in the description. So there you have it, our top tips on best places to sell photos online and make money. In a nutshell, I highly recommend focusing your attention on a few stock photography platforms and see how you feel about the entire process. Next, gain experience with keywording and titling and submitting your stock photos to multiple stock content platforms. Later, you can decide whether stock submitting websites such as Wirestock are worth giving a go. I hope this video was helpful. If so, give it a like and subscribe to our channel. We regularly post travel guides, photography tutorials, and other videos about how to succeed in stock photography. Thanks for watching.